everybody, welcome back to my show. I hope you've had a good week. I know I did. Today for our time together we will be making pan-fried chicken. Not deep-fried chicken, pan-fried chicken. So I'm going to take you in for a close look at our ingredients. Here are the ingredients we're going to need for our brine. We're going to need lots of water, half a cup of vinegar, 2 tablespoons of thyme, whole black pepper. I put about 1/4 of a cup here, 2 tablespoons of salt, and 1 tablespoon of sugar. We have some additional ingredients here. I have my fresh chicken that I've already washed and cut in half, half a cup of oil, 2 cubes of veggie broth, 1 tablespoon of paprika, 2 tablespoons of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of thyme, and 3 garlic cloves. Let's get started with the brine. First, we're going to add our water to the brine. You want to make sure it's nice and full. We're going to add the salt. The sugar. The thyme, the vinegar, and the pepper. Mix that nicely. What the brine does is it'll add moisture and flavor to the chicken. It's going to penetrate the chicken. You would want to let this sit for about 2 hours in the fridge. Nice and covered. Now we're going to cover it and put it in the fridge. Let's get started mixing our marinade. So I hope you're doing well so far. Please message me if you have any questions on what we're doing. We have here our vegetable broth. We're going to get started with this because we need to melt it all together. So I have hot water that I have boiled, and I'm just going to pour it over here and let that start to melt. Put that to the side. I have my chopped garlic. I'm going to chop some garlic right now. I've already cleaned it, all the little skins off. If your garlic has those little green shoots coming up, don't use them because it'll be very bitter. You're going to want nice fresh garlic for this. Or you can use the regular garlic that it has already been chopped and processed. You could use that too. Get our little bowl. All in there. Now we're going to add our oil, paprika, our powdered onion, our thyme. Mix it all together. You're also going to add a little bit of salt. Not too much because the brine already has salt, but just a little for flavoring. We mix this up. Now we're going to check on our cubes. You really do want to use the hot water because it's just so much faster. Add a little bit. You're welcome to use chicken broth too if you like, but I figured chicken already tastes like chicken, so I'm just gonna use the vegetable broth instead. And you just mix it all up. I will now rinse off all the brine off the chicken and add the marinade. So I've now rinsed the chicken off. This is what it looks like. It looks really nice and clean. All the blood has drained and it even smells really good. So we're gonna dry it off a bit because we want our marinade to stick to it properly. You can just use regular paper towel. You don't need anything fancy. It's just chicken. Put that to the side. Now I have a metal skewer here. I'm just going to poke it. No particular way I'm doing it. I'm just poking it all over. When we put our marinade on top, we want it all to penetrate the chicken nicely. We still have a bit more moisture here. There we go. Here's our marinade. The paprika gives it such a nice color. Just gonna massage that nicely into the chicken. Oh, they smell so good. Make sure everything is covered. Underneath the skin. It really does help to cut it in half, actually. I feel like you get a better marinade. Now we'll just cover it, put it back in the fridge. If you're in a pinch for time, put it in for 20 minutes in the fridge and then take it out. But the longer that you put it in, the more flavor it'll have. Because we want to eat today, I'm going to wait 20 minutes. Okay, everybody. With it being so close to dinner time, I decided to make it a meal. So we are adding a few things. So we have 2 cups of white rice, long grain, tablespoon of saffron, 2 tablespoons of chicken broth, and 4 cups of water. This is for the rice. And then, as a little side, we're just gonna make some carrots. And we're gonna simmer those nicely and glaze them nicely in some nice butter. So we're putting the rice on high heat because we want it to boil, but first I'm going to add just a dash of oil, not too much. Now remember, this rice, I already rinsed it. Adding our chicken broth. Mix that in. And some saffron. You're welcome to add a bit more salt to your rice if you like, but I'm not going to because the chicken broth already has some salt in it. We mix it all together nicely. And we add our water. We will wait for this to boil, and then we will cover it and we will let it sit for about 18 minutes. Our rice is boiling now. We're going to stir it. Make sure nothing has stuck to the bottom. We're going to cover it, and then we're going to put it on the lowest heat that you have on your stove. We're going to let that sit for 18 minutes. Now I've already peeled the carrots. Now we're going to cut them. I'm going to do about 1/2 inch thickness here. You really do want to be consistent with how wide the carrot is, because you want them all to cook equally. You don't want some too mushy, and you don't want some that are too hard. And now, let's go cook these. Let's get started with the carrots. I have some nice butter here. My pan is already warm. I'm not going to add salt to it because the butter already has salt. Put our carrots in here. Mix them around. I think I added too much butter. It's okay. We will let that cook for a bit. The carrots are cooking nicely. My temperature is good. I'm still at a medium. We're going to cover them a bit so they can cook a bit faster. And then we'll be right back. It's been about 3 minutes now. Everything's looking good. Yummy. Let's see, let's cut one up. Nice and tender. Perfect. The only thing I'm going to season it with will be pepper. There we go, all done. We'll put this to the side and get back to the rest of our food. I have my pan here and it's ready for frying. Our chicken is nicely marinated, smells delicious. And we'll put it on now. Extra there. You don't want to waste that juice. Now for those of you who are wondering about the carrots, that I cooked them before the chicken, normally I would cook those last. But what I did with the other, with the carrots was that I still left them a bit tender. That way before I serve them, I can heat them up and then they will be fully cooked. And they won't be mushy. But ideally, you would do that last. We'll leave this to cook for a bit and then we'll be right back. Let's check on the bottom. I want it to brown nicely. Yep, there we go. Browning nicely here. And there. Now we'll let the bottom part brown a little bit more. Then afterward, we will turn it and cover it. Alright, it's time to take a look at the chicken. Let's see. Turn it around. Yep, that looks good. Yep, that looks good too. So now we will just cover it and let it cook. And we're back now. The chicken is finished cooking. We're finishing off the last bit of the carrots, all done, and the rice is all done. We've let it rest already. Now I'm going to serve everything. And here we are, everybody, all finished. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me again this week. Please like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you again next time. Bye. God bless you.